What the hell? Go live. Hold on. What the hell?
I think it's going.
Well, yeah, it's going, but
that is not our screen.
I'm not playing Star Wars Battlefront.
Not sponsored.
Although I wish we were. I'm just clicking on random shit now. Hello, nobody that's actually watching this.
Sponsored.
Oh, Jesus. Although I wish we were. I'm just clicking on random shit now. Okay. Let's stop this for a second. Oh shit, we actually have somebody watching. Hello, we are currently trying to figure out what the fuck we're doing here. Cause I'm not sure.
Maybe webcam.
Webcam. No, cause that would be...
Oh, crap.
Yeah, we don't have a... Cause these are all like fancy schmancy. Here we go. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that works. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God, it's a fucking...
We're 2.5 minutes in and we still have no idea what we're doing.
All right. Hello. This is the Halloween stream for an unexpected party. Welcome to Sonic's Ultimate Harem, a very long, very terrible fan fiction. I am one of your hosts. I go by many names. I am known as Weeb. The person over here refers to me as Ender sometimes, so don't get confused by that. Or you could just call me by my normal name, Nathan. I don't know why you ever would. It's a terrible name. But with me, I have the reprehensible, the absolutely abhorrent Kid Alchemist.
Hi.
So, to give some background of Little Sonic's magnum opus, his Shakespearean, how should I put this, Shakespearean masterpiece, Sonic's Ultimate Harem is, for some reason, a story about Sonic going and sleeping with literally every single fucking woman within this natural plane of existence. So, me and this guy over here, are going to be reading through quite a bit of it. This will be long, it will be very sweaty, and not in the reason you're thinking, and I will probably rage quit a couple times because every single character is so inaccurate to their actual selves that I am going to probably just stop at one point and just cry. So yeah, the first chapter of this beautiful thing is Rouge. If you do a Rogue, actually, not Rouge, because Rouge would be the Bat, and this is the comic character who is dating Gambit, but conveniently...
Oh, the X-Man?
Yeah.
Oh, crap. I thought this was Rouge the Bat.
No, it's not. To give a little spoiler, if you're, like, actually interested in this shit, Rouge... I'm gonna get that confused. I'm gonna be completely honest. Rogue is, dating Gambit, but in this conveniently, they break up so that she can fuck Sonic without any repercussions. So that's going to be literally the entirety of this fucking series is convenient no relationship, and it's especially egregious when we get to Starfire. I apologize if my graphic design skills aren't anything at all because I didn't set up shit. I just created this. I just created the stream, and this is my first time actually doing this shit.
Yeah, we have no idea what we're doing.
So,
Also, side note, because I know none of you have watched anything on my channel, the last time we did a Halloween special, it was Boku no Pico, and we both developed a terrible fear of bananas.
I have not eaten a banana in those many years since that happened.
So, we're gonna see what kind of fear we can develop on this one.
How about a fear of literally any fucking any character within any media?
A fear of fictional characters.
Which
A
is
fear
impossible.
Of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Have you seen some of the fucking fan fiction of Sonic the Hedgehog?
I tried to avoid it.
That's a good thing. It is terrifying. The Sonic fandom somehow attracts some of legitimately the most insane people ever. There are people who have married Sonic the Hedgehog and then divorced him when they found out he was voiced by humans.
Oh, dear Lord. You want to check the feed and see if anyone can hear us?
Yeah. What a fucking shame, bro.
We went through 2.5 minutes and nobody can hear us.
Okay. Don't go hacking into my YouTube now, guys. Because apparently it wasn't signed in.
I know his password now. It's ...
Oh, shit. Viewers will experience buffering. We have one person watching. That's like more than I'm used to.
Hey, one person, if it's not just us, can you tell us if you can hear this? I think it might just be us watching.
Because the stream is buffering to all shit. Enough video to maintain smooth framing.
I wonder what that's supposed to mean.
Maybe
Maybe your computer's just slow.
It's relatively alright, usually. No, I didn't ask for this.
We could just turn on the volume and see if we can hear it from there.
Yeah, I can hear it. No, I didn't ask for this.
We
Okay.
could just turn on the volume and see if it's playing the feedback it should be.
Yeah, you can hear us. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I can hear it. Okay. No. So we're doing all right. We're doing okay. I think.
This has been a disaster from start to now. And
It's only been 7.5 minutes. We'll be fine, okay?
7.5 minutes of disaster. Alright.
All right.
We're
do
gonna
you want
read
to
this piece of crap.
do you want to start or should I start?
Oh boy. We might need to move the mic around a little bit because I can't see really anything. There it goes. Now I'll sit over here.
Yeah. Ooh, we're getting kind of close.
It was a beautiful day on planet Earth. The sun was shining. The people were just going about their business and taking in the peace and quiet. There was no screaming and running from any monster or robot attacks. Why is that important information?
Just don't question
If
it.
it's peace and quiet.
You'll get used to it.
Nor were there any police responding to the usual bank robbery or two. Really, only one or two. Everything has been going very well for the citizens. Somewhere in the city, there was a familiar sight most of the city was used to.
Okay. If it's a familiar sight most of the city was used to, you don't need to say that. You could say something like, there was a familiar sight flew by the citizens or something.
Something like that. This is just bad writing.
Well, yeah, you're going to get used to this shit.
We're not even a paragraph in and we're already judging.
Well, I want to judge this because fuck this stupid-ass motherfucker, dude.
Another side note, Lil Sonic has stopped writing since.
He
Thank
okay.
the gods.
So he legitimately made an entire fan fiction, but it wasn't fan fiction. It was just him saying, "Guys, I'm done with this shit."
I feel like he was self-inserting himself as Sonic and just.
Oh no,
everyone.
he definitely was. Anyways, continue on.
A familiar sight most of the city was used to. That sight being a blue bipedal hedgehog wearing a black sleeveless shirt. What?
Keep reading. It gets
A matching
better.
pair of what? With blue highlights at the bottom of the wrist. Baggy blue cargo. He doesn't wear clothes. He just wears the gloves.
And the boots.
Yeah, and the shoes.
Just keep reading.
Baggy blue cargo pants with a dark blue design on his right leg. A pair of his iconic extreme gear glasses and sneakers combination with the color of the latter being black with blue highlights.
That's what I think of when I think of Sonic is his extreme gear glasses, boys.
Is he gothic in this?
Yeah.
Is he an emo?
Yeah.
With blue highlights instead of the usual metallic crimson. Playfully smirking while simultaneously shredding concrete on his skateboard. Why is he riding a skateboard?
Just keep reading.
I wish you could see our faces. This is the stupidest thing.
Trust me, this is only the beginning. This is the best it'll get.
However, despite the different wardrobe, okay, that sort of explains it. Everyone,
Except for his iconic extreme gear glasses. Anyways.
However, despite the completely different wardrobe, everyone who saw the hog.
I thought it was a hedgehog, not a hog.
I guess he's a pig now. Knew the identity quite well from the countless times he had saved the world from certain doom. Everyone who saw him knew that this creature was none other than the legendary Blue Blur, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Usually you'd say creature if you were just introducing like what he is, but he literally said blue bipedal hedgehog, and then he said hog. So he didn't need to say that.
Can we talk about his different wardrobe?
No, we can't.
No, but like he doesn't even have a wardrobe in the games.
He has his gloves and he has his fucking sneakers, and that's it.
And what's with the skateboard?
He's edgy, okay? Yeah, I go to high school. I'm super cool.
Are those humanized Sonic characters on the picture? I just noticed that. Is that like
No,
Hatsune Miku?
I think that's all of the. I think that's some of the characters in Sonic's Ultimate Harem. You're in for a fucking treat.
One paragraph in, this already sucks.
It sucked before we even started.
His smirk now forming into a grin. The Blur was as relaxed as he could be, and was very much enjoying the period of relief this peaceful day provided. Seconds later, he noticed the entrance of a general store. What? Oh, coming up, which... What?
A general store?
Yeah, but coming up, don't they usually swing in or?
No, as in
slide?
like you know when you're running and you see
right, okay.
it up here.
That's just me being stupid then. The entrance of a general store coming up, which immediately reminded him of his thirst.
Oh, he's thirsty, all right.
That's why I emphasized thirst.
Yeah, but I just thought I'd mention it.
Without breaking the mental beat he had set up in his head. Is any of this a mental beat for Lil Sonic?
Well, in a few chapters, he's gonna get the physical beat, if you get my meaning.
I'm not looking forward to any of these. Without breaking the mental beat he had set up in his head, the Blur lightly stomped his foot down. Oh. Lightly stomped his foot down. How do you lightly stomp?
You just you stomp, but you don't stomp with a lot of force.
Okay. I was genuinely curious. I just didn't know. Stomped his foot down, halted the skateboard, and once he scooped it up, he went right in to nab himself a bottle of water. You could get that literally anywhere, but you had to go and buy it. Man, that's bad for the environment.
I don't think he cares about the environment. He floods literal cities with his semen later on.
I'm trying to process this next sentence. At that time, even though he knew his penchant for doing so, the hog was certain he wasn't bump into anyone he knew.
Here we go!
And that this trip was just going to be your average get-in, get-out kind
But you
of
already
deal.
know it's not going to be because he has to tell every little detail.
I'm still trying to process this. Even though he knew his penchant for doing so, the hog was certain he wouldn't bump into anyone.
Well, that just...
And then kind of deal. But lo and behold, even though he was certain he wasn't gonna bump into anyone, the moment he set foot inside the place was the moment his gaze ended up locking onto a familiar blonde bounty hunter who was smiling with glee. Her day clearly having been made by just the mere sight of her friend.
Okay. So Samus Aran is literally always fucking going everywhere and shooting like bounty hunting. But conveniently, she just happens to be in the same general store as fucking Sonic the Hedgehog on the same day. Despite, you know, oh, I'm usually like, I don't know, stopping fucking threats. But nope. Maybe she was like gonna ambush him. Maybe she like purposely like, I'm gonna make sure this is the only place he can get some water, so that he'll have to thirst for me too.
We would like to take this time to remind you that Ender hates this fan fiction.
Yeah, I do. And by the way, this is the only time I'll actually defend him. This is an alright sentence, even though he knew his penchant for doing so, because what he's saying is even though he knows his he does it on so many occasions, even though it happens to him so often, he was just hoping that he wouldn't bump into anyone.
Well, then you should say hoping.
Hoping
he wouldn't bump into anyone.
But Little Sonic wants to make it seem like he has more than a third grade level reading comprehension, and even though he doesn't.
I 100% believe that Lil Sonic is a second grader.
I wouldn't doubt it. He used to go by Little Knuckles too. So, anyways, you can be Sonic. I'll be Samus.
Oh dear Lord. Samus Aran, well I'll be. What are you doing here? Sonic greeted, with one hand going to grab the bottle on the shelf next to him while the other went to shake the hunters.
You know me, Sonic. I'm just here gathering a few supplies. It's good to see you, by the way.
Samus responded, her voice filled with overwhelming warmth. Same here, the blur replied. It was definitely a nice surprise. So how's life been? Seconds later, the hunter let out a small sigh of frustration, a reaction that Sonic had seen quite frequently. So much, in fact, that already he was forming the reason for why this was in his mind right as she started to voice it.
Well, Ridley broke out of containment again because I'm incompetent and I can't seem to put him in containment that'll last more than a few days. 2 nights ago, a mere day after I had recaptured him, which meant I had to spend the good half of the day tracking him down, which wasn't too fun, especially with the bruises I received.
Just as quickly as it came, Samus's scrunched brow quickly faded, and her face went right back into being a warm smile.
Fuck that! Who needs that shit?
Who the fuck needs Ridley?
It's not like he's like a danger or anything. I could just casually throw him in after half of day. But yeah, it's like she can't seem to fucking capture him in this for more than a fucking day. Like, you probably should rethink your containment procedures if that's gonna happen. Anyways. And then, my turn?
Yeah.
But other than that, it has been a pretty good day, I'd say. Speaking of which, how's your day been?
You read it wrong. But other than that, it has been pretty good, I'd say.
Shit. Whatever. I'm not gonna give him the respect of reading it again.
It's been good, Sonic began, before moving on to the big question he had on his mind. So how's Snake been? Is he still going out with you?
Which snake? There's literally like 30 different snakes.
The complicated plot of Solid Snake.
Or Venom Snake, or Liquid Snake, or just Snake, or Naked Snake.
Or the medic.
Who is Venom Snake.
And then Big Boss Snake.
Big Boss, I think, is Naked Snake. I think. I'm not sure.
With a light chuckle, the hunter crossed her arms. Let me just...
He's been well, though we were never an item. We did go out one last time the week before, but like usual, it's always been his friends. Oh, fuck you.
Samus began.
Though I do wonder who we told you we were dating.
Immediately, the image of a certain feathered pilot came into mind.
Let me guess. Falco told you?
Yep, Sonic said with a nod, prompting Samus to let out a slightly longer chuckle in response.
That guy has practically made it his mission to figure out my love life.
Sonic immediately smirked. No kidding. I should have known it was just him up to his old tricks, like how he once said you were going out.
With Mario?
Samus finished, her lips now forming into a big, stupid grin.
Hasn't she been smiling these last few minutes?
Don't question Lord Little Sonic. He clearly knows what he's doing.
Oh, don't remind me. I still get the giggles every time I think back to that. Especially when Peach actually started believing it, which caused him to show up.
Noticing she was starting to crack up, the blur immediately took over. But I really don't want to. Which caused him to show up to Star Fox HQ. His face red as a beet. Oh, I remember that. Especially when he tossed him across the room and got his beak stuck in the wall. He certainly got the idea to never mess with him, I'd say. Even before he said it, the usually reserved bounty hunter just lost it and started to crack up like there was no tomorrow, and it was at this unusual sight that it...
I'm gonna break your fucking legs, Falco, you bastard.
And it was at this unusual sight that the few people that were in there around the two started to do the same.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure they did.
That would just be super creepy.
This kind of reminds me of like those stories, you know, the like actually happened stories where they're like, and then everybody clapped. This kind of reminds me of that.
r/yeah, that happened.
Yeah, or r/actually happened, where they tell like it's always these ridiculously fucking stupid stories of like two people who are like, hey, how's it going? I haven't seen you in a few days, and she's like, yeah, it's going pretty good, and then they suddenly start reminiscing about something to conveniently get to the plot.
The doctor tried to vaccinate my baby, so I punched him in the face and stabbed him in the eye.
And then everyone clapped.
Clapping.
I ain't fucking clapping. I'm not clapping. It's
where is it? Hell, even Sonic couldn't resist cracking at least a small smile at it. After a few more seconds, soon everything... What? After a few more seconds, soon everything mostly went back to normal, though Samus still had the occasional odd snicker or two for a little bit following this moment.
Breathe! Ready? So, Sonic, are you doing anything later?
Samus questioned. The blur then lightly grasped his chin and mentally combed through his schedule for any important event he might have missed, only to turn up nothing! So far... Oh, I forgot to do the voice. So far, there's nothing I can think of. Why ask? Despite having years of formal Despite having this character trait that makes her who she is, we're gonna throw it out the window! Despite having years of formal military training and discipline, as well as a massive body count due to her career and history. What kind of body count? Even the great Samus Aran was not immune to nervousness as her cheeks soon flushed red seconds after the blur finished his sentence.
she could probably literally pick this motherfucker up and throw him halfway across the store. She has survived the spaceships crashing and shit. And she's nervous because she wants to ask some fucking bipedal dumb shit out. Yeah, I'm sure that's gonna scare her.
She's a furry.
Not my Samus.
Where are we? However, the nervousness was only just that. Cosmetic, as the girl still was able to power on through and pop the question. That was a really confusing sentence.
Yeah, a lot of this shit's confusing. Well, I was wondering if maybe you and I could go out for dinner tonight?
Sonic's eyes flickered with surprise. Despite her past...
His past experiences.
Despite his past experiences. Anytime he was asked out, still came... as a surprise to him.
He's asked out 360 times, and it's still a fucking surprise to him.
And the reaction he gave, as well as the tone he said it in, put Samus very much at ease. And she realized he was in the exact same boat as she was.
This is you.
Oh. You mean his friends, right? Smiling, the hunter shook her head.
Oh my god, Sonic. You have been doing this for 360 times.
I don't feel comfortable reading a porn between you and me.
You don't have a choice in this matter. So fucking... He has done this for 359 times at this point, actually. Because the 360th chapter is him and Samus. And every single time, he thinks... You mean his friends, right? Wow, that's surprising. I didn't expect that to happen, despite it having happened multiple times.
Despite my past experiences, I think this means we're only going out as friends.
Not quite.
She began.
I was thinking something more along the lines of, well, I strip down and you give me the old Sonic dick, you know? Well, I think it should be obvious.
At least I'm not an echidna with 4 dicks.
Wait, echidnas have 4 dicks? Fuck you, I'm going to Knuckles.
Sonic's interest perked up at the exact same time as his heart rate. You actually want me to go on a
If you're interested, of course.
Samus quickly interjected, unlike Ender, only continuing once she saw Sonic get into his thinking stance, which really weirdly was him just pulling out his dick.
I wonder what I should do.
Are you kidding me?
Hold on.
Oh, wait.
Because if you don't want to, that's fine as well. Shut.
Thanks for the out. I think I'm leaving right now. Are you kidding me? Sonic said moments later, his lips curling into a smile. I'd love to. This voice is really hurting my throat. Is 8 o'clock a good time? Getting over the surprise and resisting every urge to squee, Samus nodded.
That sounds wonderful.
I should have put an ear rape warning before I did that.
The mic will be fine.
Alright. Right then, Sonic went to pay for the bottle, though not once did his eyes leave the hunter. Again, why is he just buying water?
He's like literally making eye contact with her and like probably pulls out like a 20, throws it on the counter.
If he's gonna ruin the environment, he should at least get a Gatorade.
Nah, not Sonic. He's gotta get bottled water despite water being everywhere.
He's gotta go fast, and the only thing that makes you go fast is water.
Alright. It's you.
Great to hear, the blur said right as he set his board back to... Why is he... I forgot he was riding a skateboard.
You kind of forget this shit. These scenes go on for so long, it'll be like, oh, also, he starts running again. You're like, wait, Sonic goes fast? That's right.
Well, I'll see you then. I have to get going now. The day's still young, you know. Unlike you. You've been around for, 50 years?
40, Sonic. Why are you saying this shit? I think she came around in, the 80s. It was her first appearance.
Okay, so she's definitely, 40.
Yeah. Indeed it is. I best be heading off also. I promised to meet with Peach and Zelda, I'm sure, to catch up with them.
Lesbian threesome.
I wish. That would be better than this fucking shit.
Before they went their separate ways, the blonde bounty huntress... She was a bounty hunter before, but now apparently she's a bounty huntress. Because feminists took the blur by surprise when she pulled him close and into a very warm hug.
And crushed every single bone in his fucking body and killed him.
Which was quickly returned by the now dead Sonic the Hedgehog.
So she's gonna be committing necrophilia.
A few seconds later, Sonic sped out of the store on his skateboard and was once again back to skateboarding down the sidewalk at extremely high speeds.
Hey guys, I'm skateboarding. Hell yeah.
And would every now and again perform a trick or two on his skateboard, which would usually get a good reaction from the crowds around him, with the smiles he'd see being more often than not what made his day.
From his skateboard. Hold on. We ain't got nobody. Shit. Whatever. Alright, let's get back to the... Right there.
A little while later, the Blur decided to slow down for the time being to enjoy his surroundings a bit more, and as soon as he did, his gaze soon snapped to a familiar mustached man in red and blue. What is that? It didn't take long before the figure's features became much more pronounced.
He got fatter.
Oh, it's just a balloon animal. More pronounced and provided some truth to what the Blur guessed. Luigi! It's Red Luigi, Sonic called.
What you fucking say, Sonic? I'm gonna break your kneecaps.
As quickly as the words sounded off, the plumber's gaze snapped to the blue hedgehog, and as soon as it did, a smile graced his face, and he soon started waving. If you ever call me Red Luigi again, I will snap your fucking neck.
Sonic!
Mario called right as he started making a move towards the Blur.
He didn't put it.
How's it going, my friend? It feels like it has been ages since I last saw you.
How's it going, my friend? It feels like it's been ages since I last saw you.
There's no quotation marks. That means he's not actually saying that.
Well, no, because that would mean that he never stopped saying that. So it would be like, Sonic, Mario called right as he started making a move towards the Blur. How's it going, my friend? It feels like it's been ages since I last saw you.
Heh, same here, bud. I'm doing great. Smiling, the Blur, as soon as he was within reaching distance of his friend, went to shake his hand.
That's you, still.
I'm just trying to process what I just read.
Just don't think about
this
it.
Is screwing with my head.
Your head?
I just met with Samus earlier today.
Really?
Mario asked.
How's she been holding up?
The usual. You know how it is for her. In response, the plumber couldn't help but let out a chuckle.
That was my chuckle. Boy, do I ever. The life of a bounty hunter is never easy, except for when she gets to chill out for no reason.
No kidding. But enough about that. How's it going, pal? Sonic asked. I am sweating.
So far, things have been just terrific. It's so refreshing to actually enjoy your day without having to worry about some random threat attacking you. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, definitely, replied Sonic. A little bit later, the plumber's eyes moved over to the board in the Blur's pack.
Wow, Sonic, you're not very good at the whole being fast thing. I see you've taken up a skateboarding.
Noticing his friend's reaction, the Blur showed a slight hint of confusion.
You fucking idiot! You have a skateboard! What does that mean, you dumb shit?
I sure have. What, you didn't know I skateboard?
No, I thought you fucking ran, you little shit. I thought that was your whole deal.
That's you.
That's me?
I think so.
Well, admittedly, I should have guessed. I mean, I do remember when you took up hoverboarding, but I noticed that the experience would have been so exciting that it just put you off just plain old skateboarding. He's referencing Sonic Adventure 2, I think.
Ha! You know me too well. Yeah, it's nowhere near as fun as those nifty extreme gearboards, but if you ask me, I should actually be running and not skateboarding because that's my whole fucking deal. I think any way you catch some good air and shred is good.
Hold on, I'm setting Vector up. He was in a T-pose before. He's going to assert dominance over this shitty story.
He's our new manager.
Good job.
100% of proceeds go to the crocodile on the desktop.
We're not even making any money from this.
Exactly.
Congratulations, you're not getting paid. You're getting ripped off like all the rest of us.
Is it still going?
Yeah, it's still going.
Goody.
Okay. You know me too well. Ha! Ha! I guess some things never change.
Mario thought to himself.
Oh, sorry. Some things never change.
So, where are you heading off to? Sonic
Sonic!
I'm gonna call him Sonic for the rest of this episode.
Oh, fuck.
Sonic began. Going to meet with... Green Mario? I forgot what color Luigi was. Mario shook his head through his tone. Mario shook his head, though his tone was still just... This is fucking with me, man. Mario shook his head, though his tone was still as jovial as ever.
Nope, he's with a Daisy right now on a date. Okay, so I totally read that for a second. He's with a Daisy right now. So I was like, he's
not Princess Daisy. He's
just dating a fucking Daisy.
He's just straight boning a flower.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, a date? Mario nodded.
That's crazy, isn't it? It only seemed like it was just a day or two, and he could barely look her in the eye, let alone speak to her, and now she's just as brave as the rest of them.
Nice. Hey, next time you see him, be sure to mention that I'm proud of him, and I'm not running anymore, alright?
I need to find my phone real quick. I want to
put it like...
I yeeted it somewhere.
This just in. Nathan lost his fucking phone. I found it. It's right there.
Oh.
It was on the desktop right next to our new manager.
Our new manager was using it for a PR.
Yeah, he was trying to cancel the contract he made to have us.
He's fucking stuck here forever. My turn?
Yeah.
Will it do?
Mario replied with a nod.
Well, anyway, I'm just going to a diner to get something to eat, but I don't feel like cooking today. Would you care to come with me? I could use a good friend to talk to.
Despite the answer already being on his mind, the blur's stomach still did not hesitate to make sure he knew that the possibility of turning the plumber down was not going to happen. Sure thing, old buddy, Sonic replied, his arm draping around Mario's shoulder. In fact, I'd be willing to pay the tab if you'd like, 'cause we're gonna go out and eat coochie.
Well, knowing you, Sonic, a coochie is free, so we don't have to pay at all.
Mario smiled at his response, though he still was a little perplexed by him as this very unlike the blur.
Sorry.
As this very unlike the blur.
My God. Hold on. 90s. Oh, Jesus. It is fucking... Oh, holy shit. Look at that. Look at that quality, bro. Someone else must be using the fucking internet.
Yeah, I hear something.
Man.
It's okay. We can continue. Probably.
Whatever. Okay.
Where were we before the quality went down?
Unlike the blur, in fact.
In fact, last time a scenario like this occurred, Sonic's response was something along the lines of, "No thanks, bud. I'm looking more for some adventure." What? And yet here he was, actually not worrying so much about his life in the fast lane, on a skateboard, and actually being willing to go for a meal with him. It's Gucci. Don't look at me like that.
Well, at least I know what to ask him about first. Wait, what? Oh, they teleported themselves instantly to the...
He thought right as they found themselves a table, you know?
'Cause he went
like they do.
With his skateboard.
We should probably scroll down. As they waited for their opportunity to get their meals, it was Mario who first broke the silence.
So, how's life been for you, Sonic?
Mario asked. So far, it's been spectacular. From traveling around the world to meeting and sharing smiles with new people and going on incredible new adventures on a skateboard. It's all been such a wonderful experience, Sonic answered truthfully.
Oh, he was going around and sharing more than smiles, trust me. Same old Sonic, always looking for adventure.
Mario said with a chuckle.
So, are you still as cocky as ever? This is my favorite fucking part about this whole thing.
What do you mean? Sonic asked.
I mean, have you still been doing things that make you have a personality, like toying with your enemies, throwing out the insults towards friend and foe, and have you still been smug to people?
Realizing what Mario was asking, the player quickly shook his head.
He probably uses a skateboard for that, too.
No, so what little Sonic does here is he completely and utterly throws out characterization so he doesn't have to put any effort into writing. I shit you not. This is what makes Sonic Sonic. He's sarcastic. He's fucking annoying. He runs around and he pisses people off. But it doesn't matter because who gives a general shit, right? As long as I don't have to read or write about him correctly, I don't need to write anything about Sonic. I can just make myself him. Because little Sonic doesn't have a personality either.
If the stream is still working properly, I'm gonna move the mouse. We're not even halfway through.
When I think we're just about 25% of the way through.
This is just gonna get worse, isn't it? Nope, I stopped that long ago. I also stopped running. I use a skateboard now.
Okay. Really?
Mario asked with eyes widened.
Why?
Well, you see, Mario, one day I stopped and had a good long thought about what I've been doing with my life and found that, well, while I did a lot of good for the world, the way I was doing it at the time was, for lack of a better term, reckless, and all it did was put more of my friends as well as innocents in the way of harm. Following that realization, I left on a personal quest to see what others went through, and used what I learned to become the calm, mature hedgehog you see before you now. When did Sonic get so smart?
It's not smart. It's just little Sonic putting himself into the shoes, because little Sonic, like I said, isn't funny. He doesn't have any creativity at all, unlike Sonic.
He's compensating for it by fucking all the Nintendo characters he can think of.
Not just Nintendo, X-Men, fucking anime characters. Like I said, Ryoku, I will fucking murder him for this one.
This started with Samus, and now it's going on to Rogue.
Like I said, he doesn't even fuck Samus for another 359 chapters. So we'd really have to commit to the bit if we wanted to.
This will never get better.
Alright. Really? Really, color me shocked. That explains a hell of a lot. He swore. We don't fucking swear on this channel.
We don't fucking swear on this Christian Minecraft server.
Moments ago, you would have... Moments ago? What? He's changed, dude. What the fuck? Moments ago, you would have cracked at least one joke about me being a slow and possibly even challenge me to a race just to see me huff and puff, and yet you didn't do either one of those things.
That's because I'm on a skateboard now, and it's way slower than fucking running.
Enough about the fucking skateboard.
I'm not okay with this.
Well, I hope you like the new me, Sonic began. I mean, this was a very difficult change to make, as there hadn't been a moment in the past before my trip where I wasn't a smartass to at least one person, and I know
that's your whole fucking character,
off,
Sonic.
I worked as hard, and I... Are there any commas in this? Does little Sonic know what a comma is? I know that I pissed quite a few people off, which is why I worked as hard as I could to separate myself from that. The hog took a few seconds to replenish his energy from the fucking run-on sentence that just occurred.
The only thing that's running about him anymore are these run-on sentences.
I am actually sweating.
That's the only thing about Sonic that's running is his sentences.
A few seconds to replenish his energy with the bottled water in his pocket. I wish I had some water right now. I wanted to show people that I have the capacity to mature just like everyone else. The plumber couldn't believe what he was hearing. Of course, he'd be lying if he didn't admit that he was proud of the speedster for trying to make such a massive difference in his life. But overall, he never knew he actually felt that way about his attitude. A few seconds later, and with a smile, he gently set his hand on his friend's shoulder. It is really hard to not talk about the skateboard.
You know, well, we may have been rivals in the past, and even if you did annoy the hell out of me back then, I just want to let you know, Sonic, you were and always will be to me one of my greatest friends.
Surprised by the warmth and even acceptance of his formal rival, provided, Sonic couldn't help but give him a smile. The Sonic voice really screwed up my throat. Thanks, Mario. I appreciate that. No problem, replied Mario.
No problem,
replied Mario.
No, now moving on. Where exactly did you visit in this trip of yours? Italy, Japan, Mobius?
After taking another sip of his water, Sonic let out a small chuckle.
So where did you go in this trip? Italy, Japan, fucking Mars? Maybe you flew to the sun? Who knows?
And from here on, I am going to voice Sonic in the sexiest way I can.
Oh no. Oh no, please don't do that to Sonic.
Far more than that, bud. I didn't just go to different regions, but rather, I went from world to world, dimension to dimension, different timelines, and much, much more.
Okay, so every time these kinds of things show up where Mario shows his disbelief, I'm going to do it really exaggerated. Wow, really?
Noticing the slight hint of disbelief.
I don't fucking believe you, you stupid liar.
Noticing the slight hint of disbelief in his friend's voice, the blur nodded.
I'm serious, man. I saw all kinds of crazy stuff.
I almost said shit. I read it as shit for a second.
I'm sure it's not that crazy.
Mario began.
I mean, this is coming from the same hedgehog who was sucked through storybooks and who sucked a lot of storybooks too. Turned into a werewolf-like creature. Sonic Unleashed doesn't count. We don't exactly count that as a thing. Because of a piece of ancient evil getting stuck in him and, okay, you know what? I believe you now. You've been so much of crazy crap that this doesn't sound so far-fetched anymore.
After letting out a short chuckle at Mario's reaction, and just as he was about to go into a bit of what he saw, his mind stumbled across a certain thought that caused his cheeks to be flushed with red, and his voice stammer a slight bit.
This part is going to be read in my best Morty impression.
No, don't.
Oh, and it was through this that I ended up.
You're not even doing it right. You have to really. Oh, jeez! Oh, jeez! This isn't how it ends up. I don't want to tell you all about this. I'm really scared. Oh my God!
I can't do it right now.
You want me to take over, Sonic?
No, I have to keep doing the sexy voice.
God damn it.
Oh, and it was through this that I ended up,
yes, because that's what I think when I think sexy. I think,
no, I said I was gonna try to do my best Morty for that line.
Oh, and it was through this that I ended up, what?
That was totally me. I did that whole thing.
Ended up what?
Mario asked, his eyebrow cocked with interest.
Well, it's kind of a secret.
The plumber's eyes widened a bit.
the brave and bitchy, brash, formerly brash Sonic the Hedgehog stumbling over a simple secret.
He thought to himself.
Well, this is a new...
That's also you.
a secret. Care to tell me?
Beads of sweat started to roll down the blur's head, right as he found himself torn between if he should cave into honesty or if he should come up with an excuse to get the plumber to stop asking. And he went with the excuse. The 450-something chapter excuse.
This is you.
I think it was. I don't really want to talk about it.
Despite his desire to respect his friend's wishes,
Fuck you, Sonic.
Mario just couldn't help but find this at least a little strange. Just the very idea of Sonic, the self-described guy who loves adventure, who had seen his fair share of freaky things in his life, freaky's right, and was not once scared to talk about it, suddenly getting all squirrely about some random harmless secret that was so incredibly odd to him. In an attempt to relax him, Mario went back to a method he used to get Luigi to spill some of his secrets.
I'm gonna break your fucking kneecaps, Mario! You better tell me this shit right now, or else you're not getting your food. You fucking asshole!
And break your fucking skateboard!
I'll break your fucking skateboard! I'll break your fucking extreme gear glasses!
Whoa, Mario, you don't have to do that.
No, I'm going to fucking do it, you little shit! You better tell me your fucking secret! That's what he does with Luigi. He fucking manipulates Luigi into telling his secrets. Luigi's like, I don't want to, bro. I'm very scared. And he's like, I swear to God, Luigi, I'm going to fucking cut your legs off and feed them to the squirrels, you little shit.
Luigi's been on the rack. Why do you think he's so tall?
Damn, bro. Relax, Sonic. We're best friends despite us being good friends before. Go ahead. We've both seen our fair share of weird stuff, and it's not like this is the first time we've shared secrets. I won't tell anyone. Why tense up now?
Almost immediately, a certain painfully obvious thought popped into his head.
Hold on. 2 viewers. Oh, Jesus.
Hi, other viewer.
Yeah, if you don't know what Sonic's Ultimate Harem is, it's this shit. We're not gonna go into it.
Donate $50, please. My family is starving.
I'm holding his family hostage.
Crap, where are we?
That's not it.
Sonic said, shaking his head.
This is different. It's complicated.
Complicated? How so?
Visibly uncomfortable, with his eyes jerking from side to side while constantly wiping his consistently sweat-drenched brow. One would almost believe that the hog had committed murder.
Well, I'm about to commit murder now if you don't tell me what's going on.
Well, it's... Look, I'm sorry, buddy, but I don't really want to talk about the...
Relax, my speedy friend!
Mario said, setting his hand on Sonic's own.
I promise you I will not tell a single soul about this.
Are you sure?
Alright. Said it. They're in a restaurant. There are other people in this restaurant. I won't tell a single soul about this shit. Don't worry.
And Mario is screaming at the top of his lungs.
Yeah, he's just like, relax, my speedy friend!
And everyone is staring at them. That's why Sonic is stuttering.
Have I ever been untrustworthy?
Thinking for a moment, Sonic found that, as expected, there was not a single moment his friend had let him down, except when they lost that tennis match. Fuck you, Mario.
Fuck you, Sonic. You're a bitch.
Despite feeling a bit more confident, there was just one more question that remained.
Just why do you want to hear about this so much?
Sonic asked.
Because I want to have a reason to break your kneecaps, you fucking loser.
Wow, Mario really wants to hurt Sonic.
Okay. It seems so weird that despite everything you've seen and done and all of the secrets you've shared, this is the one time you don't want to tell anyone.
Mario's lips then curled into a smirk.
Plus, once I hear that one of my friends or someone else has a secret, I won't stop until I hear it.
I think that's called sexual harassment. I mean, harassment.
I'm just going to take you into the back room and get a couple of my guys to give you the old 1-2 on the kneecaps, you know. Not a big a deal, I promise.
Is that so?
Sonic asked with a nervous chuckle, to which Mario nodded.
He like snaps his fingers. He's like, guys, get over here. We might have to take someone into the back of fucking room.
The two then waited in silence for what seemed almost like an hour.
Jesus, a fucking hour?
That's a long time to wait.
That's a long time to be silent. That's so awkward.
With Mario waiting patiently, but in anticipation, with his mind going wild on what this supposed embarrassing secret was, whereas Sonic was deliberating with himself if he should even tell it. Finally, after a few more seconds, and following him taking one glance at his friend's face, his face caved, because Mario had just socked him in the nose.
He's not the only thing that's going to cave, trust me. Skulls are very easy to bat.
Sigh! Okay, if you insist, I'll tell.
Sonic began.
But are you certain you won't tell anyone?
I'll bet your life on it.
My life? Oh no! Mario replied, to which Sonic couldn't help but chuckle. Is this me? This is me.
Going a little theatrical, are we? Well then, if that's the case, here goes. I've kind of been a
Here we go.
slut.
Sonic stopped for a moment.
Whoa, what did I tell you about this? We're progressive on this fucking channel.
Sonic stopped for a moment to take another look at the plumber, whom he saw was already leaning in closer with his brow cocked in anticipation. Realizing he couldn't turn back now, the blur took in a deep breath, held it in for a few seconds, and exhaled, his stress floating away in a matter of seconds.
I'm kind of a slut.
Mario
Read it right!
I'm kind of a player.
Mario blinked for a few seconds, the look on his face clearly showing that he thought it was a joke, which took only a small look from Sonic to tell him that he wasn't kidding.
A football player?
Me. Really?
Mario replied.
That's your secret, you dumb bitch! I don't give a shit about that!
Well, that's part of it.
He began.
You see, by player, I mean that I've actually been in football tournaments.
Well, let's just call them.
Private encounters with tons of women.
Tons of women.
At that moment, the scene that played out almost seemed like something straight out of a cartoon, because this is a cartoon. As upon hearing that last part, my god, this is for kids. Mario's eyes shot wide open with shock and bulged ever so slightly. Is he a frog now? And his jaw simultaneously going slack. The image was so ridiculous, in fact, that the blur couldn't help but chuckle at it. A few moments later, the plumber managed to pull himself together and shook his head for a moment before making the best attempt.
Okay, so I'd like to imagine this isn't Mario like in shock, but he's just trying not to burst out laughing because he thinks it's so stupid. He's like,
Sonic, you're gay!
Are you kidding me?
Your move.
I just said, are you kidding me?
Alright. Mario began, his finger raising towards his friend.
You, Sonic the Hedgehog, you had sex
Sonic nodded.
with a crap load of women?
I know it's surprising because I never wear pants and you never see a penis on me. But that's right.
Have you
And this all happened during my trip around the world.
I even have the numbers on my phone.
wait,
to show for it.
around the world? Hold on. That doesn't make any sense. But, like, in the background, Mario's just, like, trying not to burst out. You didn't have sex, you're a fucking loser.
Sonic answered truthfully with a smile.
Tell me, how many do you exactly have on your phone?
His smile still showing, the blur reached into his pocket and carefully pulled out his white Samsung Galaxy 3.
I wish it was a Note 5 so that would fucking blow up on him.
Pulled out his phone, would have been good, but he entered his list of contacts and started counting. After a few seconds of waiting, he smirked and turned his attention back to the plumber.
Well, I can't give the exact number away, but let's just say if you saw it, you'd probably have a heart attack.
Sonic answered as he browsed through some of the unread messages he discovered.
Is that so?
Sonic nodded.
In that case, can you tell me how many digits?
Can't say. There's too many to count.
Flabbergasted, Mario took off his hat and started using it as a makeshift fan. I wish I had a fan right now. Jesus Christ.
There's one right there.
Oof.
If you want to go grab it, I can plug it in for you. I really wish it was written in like the way that Mario was fucking laughing at Sonic just the whole time. That would be so fucking good.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, that feels nice. It's a little loud.
Yeah.
One.
Okay, we've.
Oof.
Right there, I think. Oh, and then you makeshift fan. Okay, so that's my turn. My turn.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Sonic! So that was your secret all along. You travel around the world as well as different dimensions and time periods just to sleep with females that you encounter.
Well, not purposefully.
Sonic began.
But now that I think about it, after you put it that way, it certainly seems like it. But really, the original intent was to have fun exploring exotic new worlds.
Oh, he had fun, all right.
And help whoever I can along the way. Not once did I expect to get into even half the stuff I got into, like Gucci. But sure enough, it happened, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy every moment of it.
You know, instead of not enjoying it and just hating every single second of it.
That's called rape. Rape's not funny, kids. Don't do it.
Oh, don't worry. Rape happens in this. We've got no one watching. Great. Whatever. I don't give a shit.
We were so bad at this that whoever was watching just fucking left.
Whatever. I'm not doing this for the views yet.
Yeah, we're just doing it for that sweet income. Just kidding. We don't make money.
Well, we need to pay the manager somehow. Okay. Wow, just wow. You've got to tell me everything.
Whoa, hold on, bud. I only said I'd tell you my secret. Not that I'd... Oh, what the hell. It could be fun. Alright then, Mario. I'll tell you about every gal I slept with.
Really?
Sonic nodded.
Alright then. So, I guess we should start from the top, alright?
That sounds about right.
Sonic said.
Now, let's see. Who did I sleep with first?
For a number of seconds, the hog tapped his chin, trying his best to recall the first in what was an incredibly long list of women.
I slept with... No, that's not it. It began with an R. It was... Oh, I got it now. The one I slept with was... Rogue.
Did you really,
Mario's eyes snapped open.
did you really have to lick your lips? Because I heard that in my ear from my headphones, and that was really uncomfortable.
Mario's eyes snapped open so fast it was almost like he saw a ghost.
Okay, ready? What? Sonic, you're not referring to...
Oh, yes. I'm referring to the Southern Beauty from the X-Men.
Sonic, I know you've done some crazy things, but you do realize what we're talking about here. This isn't just a member of the X-Men. She's one of their most respected, most powerful, and most important of all. She was one of the most dangerous. She can take your powers and with as much a touch, and if she held on long enough, she could make you pass out or possibly even kill you.
Okay, first of all, Wolverine is the most respected. Second, I know that.
Trust me. Wolverine shows up. He fights Sonic. He loses to Sonic.
That's all, folks.
Oh no. We're not even halfway done.
It's your
Okay.
line.
Did you say I know that?
Yeah.
And to add further fuel to the fire, she's a dating Gambit!
Look, Mario, I know you're shocked about this. Hell, you're probably wondering how I'm still alive right now. But trust me when I say that he didn't find out about it. The two of us kept it a secret. And plus, this was during a very rocky time in their relationship.
That's not the only thing that was hard. I get it. So they weren't necessarily friendly with one another when you two did this.
Exactly. Sonic said with a nod. Wait, am I supposed to read that in a sensual voice too? Sonic said with a nod.
I see, but that still doesn't mean the question of how you were able to survive Rogue's powers. Mind stating from the very beginning so I can understand this a better.
Not at all, my man. It all started back when I decided to pay Professor X a school visit to see how they run things, you know. I'm just turning into a stoner.
Really, man? You know Professor Xavier?
Yep. After I assisted the X-Men during one battle with the Brotherhood, they gave me a card that said I could visit at any time.
Oh, I'm sure they fucking did. You, my friend, are one lucky hedgehog. I wish I could do cool things like this.
I'm sure your time will come at some point, bud. Now, like I was saying. Flashback! Deep within the confines of Xavier's School for Gifted Children, Sonic was currently sitting down with the heroic, kind-hearted telepath, speaking with him about his experience all while they sipped the tea that was freshly brewed by his trusted assistant and telepath, Jean Grey, a.k.a. the Milky Phoenix. The Phoenix.
Glad to see you share my sentiments about my students. Well, rough around the edges, they've truly come a long way since they first started here.
Is he a pimp?
And if you ask
Oh
me,
my God.
they're shaping up to be the finest examples of what prostitutes should be.
Professor X stated. You don't say. Sonic replied. I have to say, Professor, you've done an amazing job at teaching and raising these, as you call them, prostitutes. Mutants.
Thank you.
The professor said, his expression and tone then showing a slight bit of frustration.
Although the real fight has really been trying to be accepted by humanity, who unfortunately don't quite see us as you do. To them, we're monsters, outcasts. To society, and all because we are different compared to most of them. Wait. I thought that was Magneto's stance on the whole thing. I know Professor X realizes this, but he's been trying to build a better future so that they can live in harmony. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
What Professor X is saying here is they're trying to be accepted. If this was Magneto, he'd be like, we're trying to eliminate the human scum.
Fuck, I wish this was Magneto, because then you'd probably
Me too.
eliminate Sonic. Actually, I gotta run to the bathroom, so if you want to take over Xavier's real quick.
Hello.
And if you want to listen to your own voice, which I wouldn't.
Me neither, but I want to see how I sound. Oh, this is gonna suck.
Yeah, it's gonna suck.
I expect about as much. humanity never quite understood that they don't always have to fear what they don't understand. But overall, I hope you're ignoring the hate and keeping your head up.
Oh, of course we are, Xavier replied. And of course, I'd be lying if I said it didn't have anything to do with the fact that the situation is at least far better than it used to be, as we have those such as Captain America and other pockets of humanity who do fight to end the prejudice, which is better than having no support at all.
I wholeheartedly agree. I bet it doesn't get any easier, though, with the Brotherhood.
The professor nodded.
Thanks to
a conversation they had earlier, both him and Sonic knew exactly why the Brotherhood was as aggressive and vigilant as they were as their leader. The ruthless Magneto believed... Maybe I read that wrong. Believed that mutants, otherwise known by their subspecies Homo superior, could not coexist with humans, and that they were the next stage in the evolution of the human race, and that if they were going to abuse them, they needed to wipe them off the face of the earth. Noticing the professor's silence, the blur continued on.
You know, he reminds me quite a bit of my arch nemesis.
Sonic then quickly added,
Well, if my nemesis was a racist towards an entire species.
Is that so?
Yeah, I have to stop him every now and then. No, scratch that. I've had to stop him countless times, and no matter how many times I topple his machines or crush his hopes to conquer the world, he still has not one even considered giving up.
I'm really not very good at the Xavier voice. I hope Ender comes back.
Well, it sounds like you have quite a lot of responsibilities.
You could say that. I may live for the love of an adventure, but unlike some, I don't like to abuse my powers for self-gain. I work as hard as I can to protect the planet. To protect the planet, where is it? To keep my promises to the people that live on it, and will do whatever it takes to keep them safe, no matter what.
Touched to see yet another living being who saw the value in life like he did, the professor's lips curled into a wide and warm smile as he took Sonic's cup and refilled his tea.
That is why my students admire you. They don't just see you as an average hero, rather they look up to you as a symbol of hope.
Xavier began.
They view you as an inspiring example of what they're capable of and exactly how they should behave. It's thanks to you that less and less of them think of defecting to the Brotherhood or giving up. You help keep their spirits going when there's no one else that can.
Thank you, Professor. Though I'm just doing my job and keeping the promise I made to myself.
It's so weird hearing myself.
I'm not striving to be famous.
Alright. I returned from the depths of hell itself to...
I could hear what you thought was me smacking my lips. I was just... It's just me opening my mouth.
Alright, where are we?
I'm not striving to be famous.
Okay. Where's that? Oh, trust me, I can already tell that much.
Sonic returned the warm smile of the professor and took another sip of his newly replenished cup of tea. They talked for a little bit more until finally their attention is diverted when they hear the door rustling a slight bit. You could just say slightly. And right as they turned their heads, a familiar, stocky, yellow and blue-garbed Canadian hero poked his head out.
Hey, Charles, mind if... Oh, hey, Speedy, didn't know you were here.
How's it going, knucklehead?
I thought he was trying to change.
Sonic greeted back.
How's your arm doing after that sparring match we had? I hope I didn't mess you up too bad, because I can totally bend or break adamantium.
Logan smirked.
It's all about that chaos energy.
Chaos control.
Oh, trust me. Once you've been through having the adamantium ripped from your skeleton, everything feels like a Sunday breeze. Don't worry, buddy. Those energy attacks of yours may have hurt like hell. No, they wouldn't. But it'll take a lot more than that to put me down. It really would.
So this has got to be like after. Like Wolverine is just stuck with bone claws right now. I'm guessing he doesn't have adamantium right now.
Regardless, though, it's still.
Good to hear.
Sonic said with a chuckle.
Moving on, though. What do you need the professor for?
Private matters.
Private is right.
The hero replied rather briskly. Wolverine said that, not Sonic. I just really wanted to make a penis joke.
Well, in that case, I'll be out of your way then.
Sonic began as he stood up from his comfy leather chair.
It was great talking to you, Professor.
The pleasure's all mine, Sonic.
He's back to being a pimp.
It was nice to hear from someone who for once saw the value in peace like I do.
Piece of that ass. Still keeping his smile, the Blur started to make his way out the door when the professor stopped him.
Oh, and Sonic, since you most likely don't have much to do at the moment, you're fucking worthless and otherwise, why don't you stick around for a little while longer? Maybe take a moment to talk with more of the students, or just relax.
Liking the sound of the offer, the Blur nodded.
Well, I guess I can stick around just a bit longer before I leave.
No, he doesn't. By the way, Wolverine doesn't have bone claws. He still has metal claws. It says right there.
Oh. Well, then I don't know how Sonic managed to break or bend his arm.
He probably is only saying that so to make Sonic feel better. You already read the. Well, I guess I can stick around.
I think I said that.
When the time comes,
Logan began with a smirk.
how about we have a little rematch once I'm done speaking with the professor? And this time,
For great emphasis, and with a sneak, Sonic watched his 3 recognizable, sizable, razor-sharp metal claws launched from Logan's knuckles at speed similar to a bullet being fired.
how about we have no fancy tricks? Instead, I'm just gonna cut you to fucking ribbons.
Smirking, the Blur gave a small salute to the man, along with a chuckle.
Sounds great. I'm in.
Sonic said excitedly.
Well, see you, Professor.
With a wave, the Blur exited the office and carefully shut the door, leaving the student and master alone to their business. A little bit later, Sonic was taking a walk through the hallways of the Institute, admiring the architecture, and also thinking about what he could possibly do to pass the time.
Well, let's see.
Sonic thought out loud.
I already visited the danger room.
I've seen the courtyard so many times I can sketch an accurate map of it from memory alone.
I visited Beast Lab.
A few moments after the final word, the Blur immediately felt a yawn coming on, and as he let it out, it was right then the idea came rushing to mind.
Come to think of it, maybe I should take a short nap before I leave. After all, I did come all this way to visit, and I've worked myself to the bone. With all that practice, I got in at the danger room.
And of course, there was that sparring match I had with Wolverine.
So you're in one of the most the finest institutions in the world, created by one of the most well-known psychics in the mutant world, and you're like, I'm just gonna take a nap. Yeah, I'm fucking sure you will.
I think I've earned myself some shut-eye before I leave. Before Sonic would do anything, a familiar light blue, reflective, and friendly face came rushing towards him, to which the Blur couldn't help but smile back.
Every single person is friendly towards Sonic. There's nobody who's like, fuck you, Sonic, you asshole. It's always, wow, Sonic, you're my best friend.
Hey, Sonic, Bobby greeted. How did the talk with the professor go? It went well, Sonic responded. You're really lucky to have someone as kind as him
helping to take care of you.
You see why we like him, right? Sonic nodded. It's weird, isn't it? Even though not a single one of us has any
relation to him, whenever he speaks to us, it almost feels like he's the caring father or uncle we never had.
I see why you think that way. He's definitely a great man,
Sonic replied.
Anyway, what's up?
I should go back to my Sonic voice. This is getting really annoying.
It's uncomfortable for me to listen to it.
Huh? Oh, right. I was wondering, since you're clearly going to stay a little longer,
would you like to play a game with me? Sorry, buddy, but I think I'll pass. Oh, I think one game wouldn't hurt, Iceman said with a smirk. After all, it's not like Wolverine took that much out of you, and even if he did, I'm certain sitting on a couch with a control in hand is nowhere near as exhausting as training in the danger room. Also, did you know Iceman is gay?
Oh. So this adds a whole new dynamic. The controller isn't the only thing you're going to have in your hands. I'll show you my joystick.
Well, Sonic began, his hand on his chin. Now that you mention it.
My throat is totally destroyed.
Oh, God. That's you. Keep reading.
I lost my spot.
I think so. Wait, let's just start from thanks, buddy, and look, I'll tell you what.
Which one is that?
Right here.
Yeah, but is that Sonic or?
That's Sonic.
This is so confusing.
Yeah, because he's saying, well, maybe when I wake up.
I think we skipped 2 lines.
Whatever, just...
I think I'm up here.
Okay.
Now that you mention it, after thinking about it for a few moments, the Blur let out a sigh. Sorry, buddy, but I was thinking more of taking a small snooze cruise. You guys got a spare bedroom where I could get some shut-eye? Yeah, I do. It's upstairs. Specifically, it's the 7th floor on your right, Bobby said, his voice showing clear disappointment. Oh, I gave him a cheerful voice.
Whatever, doesn't matter.
Thanks, buddy. And look,
I'll tell you what, maybe when I wake up, we'll play a little before I go, alright? Almost immediately, Iceman perked up.
So did his dick. You got it.
Unfortunately, the moment he flashed a thumbs up, the hero ended up, by complete accident, launching a ball of frozen terror.
Rip Sonic!
A ball of frozen terror straight into the Blur's hand, which immediately caused him to fall flat on his face due to the added weight with the slight impact of the impact causing Bobby to wince.
So basically, he doesn't get hurt from Wolverine's claws, which are extremely fast and extremely dangerous, but he gets fucking directly hit by a goddamn ice ball. All right, okay.
And if anyone has watched the Sonic trailers, apparently Sonic can freeze time. So that should not happen. Crap, sorry, he shouted with concern. Didn't mean to do that. After shaking himself free of the pain and making it clear to Bobby he wasn't mad, the Blur wasted no more time and headed upstairs, following the exact directions Iceman provided. Right as he was reaching his target room, he quickly noticed 2 figures in a bedroom on his left, which prompted him to halt.
Ooh.
Of course, his mind was telling him to simply get into his room and ignore what was taking place. But if there was one thing Sonic had always been known for him, it was his curiosity and his need to see people having sex. And soon it got the better of him, which resulted in him taking just a tiny peek at what was going on. And the moment he saw the gal in yellow and green and a familiar Cajun fellow in a leather trench coat, and listened to their voices, he knew right then.
Leather trench coat. Fucking Gambit's a school shooter now. It's just like, oh, I'm going to go shoot up this school.
I don't think he's French.
He's certainly. That's certainly mon ami. So I'm gonna make him fucking French.
He knew right then and there that if he was discovered, he was one dead hedgehog. Don't you lie to me. I know exactly what I saw, Rogue began, her voice full of protest. I saw you openly kissing Storm. How could you?
It was just an accident, mon ami. A misunderstanding. I don't have a feelings for dear Storm.
Gambit reasoned. A misunderstanding? Then tell me, what did I see back there?
A simple accident. Nothing to be saw.
Sorry to interrupt, the heroine began, crossing her arms, but most accidents don't end with open French kissing in a room.
Well, that's like fucking German. Well, that's my Mario voice. Well, it ends like that for drunkards.
Rogue couldn't help but sigh in frustration. Remy, if you weren't drunk, I swear I'd be able to sense it before even you could. If you were drunk. Whoops. Besides, I've seen you drunk. What I saw out there, that was preventable. Realizing he was running out of options faster than teens going through money at a casino.
But teens can't go into a casino. That's the whole thing. That's illegal.
The quick-witted Gambit found himself for the first time ever completely cornered, and just when he thought he had something going, the fiery Southern Belle lit up before he could.
The quick-witted Gambit suddenly found himself in a corner. Nice. So he basically took away any characterization of him, too.
And what was that you said about her? I think it was something like, Dear Storm, is that correct? I mean, is that right? Gambit opened his mouth to speak, his desire clearly being to prove his innocence. And yet, oddly enough, he let out no words, or at least he eventually did let them out, but they were not all the words he was hoping for.
So he could have just like replied with, "Yes, I usually add dear to my because I consider them dear friends, you fucking idiot." But now it just has to be that automatically. Merde. That's shit in French. I'm going with the whole shit.
As I expected, Rogue began. I can't believe you did this to me. Desperately, Gambit outstretched one hand.
Mon ami, please.
Without any hesitation, Rogue slapped his hand away. Don't.
Shit. Don't mon ami, bub.
Don't mon ami me, bub. That ship has long sailed. I'm through with this. I can't take it anymore. I gave you a second chance when you almost kissed Kitty, and now you kissed Ororo.
Ororo?
I think that's Storm's name.
Oh, fucking Ororo. That sounds like a really shitty anime name.
She was revered as a god in Africa, I think, because of her weather powers.
I don't give a shit. I just think, hey guys, Ororo here. It's like fucking Duraro or whatever it's called.
But she's African.
Oh, very nice. Very good.
I can't take this anymore.
Okay. Well, technically it was 3 because of that time with Jubal.
Realizing what he had just said in that moment was quite possibly the worst thing anyone could ever do. Almost immediately, Gambit's brain went into full panic mode. What?
I was gonna say for the first time, he's not very quick-witted, is he? He's very dim-witted.
Went into full panic mode, and the moment he saw the enraged Rogue starting to turn and make her way out, he quickly rushed to grab her arm.
Anna, please! I'll make it up to you, I promise.
Almost immediately, and without hesitation, the heroine jerked her elbow back into the Cajun's stomach, the impact being strong enough as she heard him stumbling into the wall behind him. Not willing to let that happen, though, she quickly grabbed a fistful of his jacket and lifted him high. Forget it. We're done, mon ami. Right then and there was when the blur took his leave, and without any hesitation, he charged for the 7-star and shut it.
I appreciate how he spelled mon ami the same way, except for that one way where it's ami with AMI, not AMIE. That's consistency.
Woo, that was a close one. Sonic said, wiping sweat from his brow. Now to get some sleep. Finally, with the privacy he desired, the privacy he could have had if he wasn't eavesdropping on a couple breaking up. The blur stretched his arms out, let out a yawn, and then, with about as much grace as anyone would expect.
Sorry. I'm distracted because it says one watching now 2 years ago.
What?
I don't fucking know. Okay, continue on.
I moved the page. I forgot where I was. Let out a yawn, and then with about as much grace as anyone would expect from one who has spent their entire day sparring in a deadly training simulation, he just let himself fall forward on the bed. And after taking a few seconds to get into a position, because he was so tired he couldn't get in the bed, but he could move around, he felt most comfortable in. He was out cold. Oh, jeez. Can you start? Can you do the... I've been doing this for like half the page. Can you do the filler?
Narration. Seconds later, the leader of the X-Men, Cyclops, was walking down the halls to his room, his costume partly torn and body scarred from another intense training session in the Danger Room.
That Sentinel simulation took a lot out of me.
He thought to himself.
I need to get some rest.
Immediately, his thoughts were silenced the moment he saw the body of his friend Gambit being sent flying from Rogue's room and into the wall. The impact causing a hairline crack to develop right in the center. That would not just make a hairline crack, that would fucking destroy it. Right before he could rush to help his friend out, he heard what was possibly the angriest yell Rogue has ever given out.
And stay the hell out!
Oh, don't put too much emotion into it there, bud. Moments later, she slammed the door shut. Taking a moment to regain his bearings, the faithful leader then rushed to tend to Gambit as though he didn't have a second to spare.
That's Cyclops.
Yes.
Remy, are you alright?
The leader asked with concern in his tone as he slung him with one arm over him. I've been through worse, Gambit replied with a smirk, trying his best to remain good, but I appreciate the help.
Can you stand?
Still smirking, Remy quickly grabbed his cane from his back and propped himself up on it as best he could. With this I can, Remy smirked, with soon faded, and changed into a look of confusion when Scott merely crossed his arms and gave him what he guessed was a stern stare. What, not in the mood? What, not in the mood for humor?
I'm usually not in the jerky mood when I've just seen a friend of mine tossed into a wall by a comrade,
Scott replied. Really? I find the jokes help to numb the pain of the cracked buns.
Remy, enough with the comments. What happened here?
Finally realizing that Summer wasn't in the mood for games, the Cajun let out a sigh and lightly pinched the bridge of his nose.
When does Cyclops ever have a jokey mood? When is he ever funny?
Fine, I'll tell you, but not here, because, well... Scott then watched as Remy quickly pointed towards Rogue's room, which immediately gave him the hint, and with that, the two made their way down the stairs to discuss the matters at hand, and left their comrade to her own devices so she could fuck Sonic alone. While she didn't necessarily shed any tears, as it wasn't the first time something like this had happened, so why the fuck are you still with him? I mean, I know you just left him, but...
Isn't that, like... That's, like, toxic. That's a toxic relationship. You need to stop being with this guy.
I mean, I don't imagine this really happens that much in the real comics, though. Because, like I said, little Sonic likes to throw characterization out the window. Rogue still felt incredibly brokenhearted and tried as best she could to blow off some steam. Oh, she's gonna blow off some steam, all right.
And to blow off some Sonic.
And hopefully shake the pit in her stomach that the ordeal had left her with. When that didn't work, she thought then of comfort, a friend to talk to be with. a friend to talk with, to be exact, one who would listen to her pain. However, all the usual friends she talked to for situations like this, strangely, she felt no desire to visit. She didn't go to Kitty, Jean, Ororo, probably because he was just found kissing fucking Ororo. Hell, she even considered going to Logan, but Logan wouldn't give a shit. And yet, no matter how much she wanted it, she for some reason couldn't motivate herself to go out and get the comfort she clearly needed. After a long moment of pondering, however, finally something came to her. She had heard a little earlier from the Beast as she was wrapping up a mission that the legendary speedster and one of her many idols, Sonic, was currently in the institution talking with the professor. Yeah, I'm sure he's her fucking idol. I'm sure. At first, the gal considered simply talking with him, but then, after a bit more afterthought, something more came up, and when she thought back to the rush of footsteps she heard moments earlier, the Southern Belle began to smile once more as she proceeded to rub her chin.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I forgot that A, Rogue was Southern, and B, that I've seen her in a movie, so I could just try to replicate that voice.
I think I have an idea on how to cheer myself up.
Rogue. Idolized. Idolized? Idolized?
It should be idealized, probably, but...
And then she got an idea. A terrible, horrible idea.
I'm gonna fuck Sonic.
Minutes later, the hog was sprawled out on the bed, resting ever so peacefully. He had kicked off his shoes. Oh, God.
Sonic toes.
No. And used the powers of chaos to set them rather neatly down at the wall next to the door to get comfortable.
Does Sonic even have chaos powers?
Yes.
Oh.
He has the chaos emeralds as well. And he has chaos energy, I think. Chaos energy becomes a very big factor in this whole thing.
Oh, dear Lord.
With a smile on his face and the complete lack of noises.
No case.
No kais, with the exception being the occasional exhale from air from the hog's lungs, everything lended itself to the one perfect nap. However, all of it was about to change when the Fire Nation attacked. When someone crept into the room, carefully laid next to the blur. Wait a second. Hold on. No.
Howdy ho there, neighborina. I'm gonna fuck you.
Diddly ho, neighborino. We all about to get diddled. And once they were sure he wasn't going to wake, they started twirling their fingers in neat circles on his chest. This is fucking rape. Eventually, after a few more seconds, the blur groaned softly and let out a groggy breath as his eyes slowly pried themselves open. With his mind full of wonder about who or what would want to interrupt his peaceful slumber.
Okay, before we move on to the next bit, I had you take over the narration because I realized that I would be voicing both Rogue and Sonic. And I didn't want to have to do narration while I was throwing my voice over.
With one last throaty groan, the blur was almost completely awake, and he took advantage of that moment to look around the room. At first, he noticed nothing. How did you not notice that?
He noticed nothing, not even some rando swirling on his chest.
Bro, that'd be the first thing I noticed and been like, bro, get the fuck out of here. Until eventually he locked eyes with a female brunette, he spelled brunette wrong, with a single white streak in her hair, as well as seductive eyes and a mischievous look.
Hey there, sugar. I'm about to rape you.
Rogue greeted. Immediately, Sonic's defenses kicked into a high gear right as his eyes shot wide open, followed by the motion of him scooting back just a bit too far, which caused him to fall flat on his ass on the polished floors. This is where it's about to get real fucking crazy.
I want to preface this by saying I'm not ready.
Are you ready?
What the hell? Rogue, what are you doing here? Can't you see I'm trying to take a nap here?
Sonic shouted excitedly at the X-Men member. That sounds more like he's fucking angry, dude.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to ruin your nap.
Rogue said with sincerity in her voice.
That's like...
I heard a bunch of footsteps during an ordeal I had, and because of what happened during that, I thought I'd come find you. It was a while later, when I found Bobby, who told me where you were, and once I saw you sleeping, well, I just thought I'd lay right beside you.
I've given Rogue, like a slutty cowgirl voice.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to ruin your nap.
Oh, well, that's nice of you.
That's A few seconds later, the realization hit Sonic like a pile of bricks.
Wait, what am I saying? Look, Rogue, you can't just rape me. Rape isn't funny, guys. I appreciate you wanting to keep me
Rape's
company.
hilarious. What are you talking about?
I appreciate you wanting to keep me company. But all I have to ask is just, why? Well, that deal I just mentioned.
Rogue paused for a moment, taking a breath and regain her composure.
It's for comfort. I just wanted someone near me because I broke up with Gambit. This is the worst.
Very good. Not wanting to give away that he eavesdropped on the whole situation, the Blur wisely decided to focus on not acting surprised.
I'm so sorry, Rogue. But you could have asked someone else to help comfort you. Someone who's much closer to you than I am. Like Bobby, for example. True, I could have, but he's gay, and I wanted someone to fuck. When I thought about it and how much this has happened before, I felt that wouldn't help. Knowing you, however, and how apparently you dealt with some heartbreak in your life, I just thought it'd be better.
What heartbreak has he dealt with in his fucking life? We're talking about a guy who doesn't even know Amy Rose loves him, or he knows she loves him and he doesn't give a shit.
I just thought it'd be better for this time if I came to you.
Having softened up a considerable amount, Sonic stood up with his tone showing far less anger and shock.
What part of him softened?
He wasn't angry before. He was excited.
Is that so? In that case, join me on the bed and tell me what's going on.
Oh god, this has almost as much fucking narration as Sonichu. The Blur made his way back to the bed with Rogue lying beside him. Once he was within cuddle distance, the Southern Belle embraced the Blur, and the latter using his powers to thankfully negate the deadly effects of the Harem. Oh, of course! He's using his powers. Therefore, he's using plot armor.
He's moving so fast that she thinks she's cuddling him, but she's not.
Once that was done, Sonic returned the embrace and wrapped his arms around her. When they were in position, it was then that Rogue told him everything about what had happened to her in Gambit. And while he did know about that encounter, she then went further and went over how this wasn't the first time this had happened, which caused the Blur to feel all the more sorry for her. And it only convinced him to tighten his embrace. Oh, we're getting close. You better prepare.
I don't want to do this. Hey, it's okay. I'm sorry to hear that happened to you. Sonic comforted. Don't let Remy get you down. What he did was terrible, sure, but remember, you've got a whole group of friends who love and respect you, and you've got a friend in me. You don't need Remy.
Oh, she's gonna have a friend in her in a second, yo.
You don't need Remy to make you happy, and I'm sure that no matter who the member is, they'd be willing to do whatever they can to show that you're valued.
Who the member
you're hot
is?
and you've got tits.
Oh, he's gonna show his member all right. Fucking hell.
Thanks, Sonic. That's just what I need. My voice is cracking.
Rogue said with a smile.
No problem. Helping others is what I do. It doesn't matter if they're sad, angry, or hurt physically and or mentally, or horny. I'll do whatever it takes to make them feel better.
Seeing how much brighter Rogue's smile became, it was then that Sonic felt he could take a load off his conscience.
Hey, Rogue. Can I be honest with you? At any time? What is it? You see, I heard everything in your room while you and Gambit were having that fight.
Sonic said, lowering his head in shame.
I'm sorry for eavesdropping. It's okay.
Rogue said with a smile, using her hand to prop his head up.
You didn't know we were dating, and it was in a pretty open area.
It
Anyone
was,
could have
it
heard
was in your room. There was a door. What are you talking about?
True, but when I helped you that one time in a fight against the Brotherhood, I got really horny, and I could tell that you guys were very close to one another.
And I thought to myself, I want to be close to you too.
And considering my own experiences being horny, honestly, that sort of hit me in the nuts.
Shut up.
Hey, it's alright, sugar.
Rogue reassured.
I'm not mad. Remy's the one that I'm pissed at. You, on the other hand, were just someone who on accident wound up hearing you
You
should have.
shouldn't have.
And staying there to hear the whole thing, and then only leaving when we were done, and so you could let your curiosity get the better of you. It happens to the best of people. Hell, it happens to me. There's no need to feel so ashamed. Thanks, Rogue.
Sonic said with a smile.
I can't do it anymore.
A few minutes of silence then passed, with the two of them having nothing to say, and after waiting a bit to see if Rogue was the one willing to break the silence, and after noticing that she wasn't going to speak, the blur finally took in a deep breath and broke everything.
So, what's the next step? Are you going to find a new love and see how things go with them? Or are you going to remain single, to give yourself some time to heal your broken heart? I'm leaning more towards the latter for now. I gave Remy far too many chances, and with him blowing this one, I don't feel dating right away is a good option. Well, either way, I wish you only the best. Thanks. Rogue began. Though come to think of it, way to speed up the process. I think I need something more to help me to make me feel a little better.
Not you.
Yeah?
Keep reading. Keep reading. I'll be right back.
Andrew's aunt just got home and is interrupting. We've been here for like 3 hours. Been here for 3 hours. I didn't expect that to take this long.
We're almost done, I think. We're not almost done. We still got so long.
We're like 70% through.
Shit.
We've
been streaming for, let's see.
We've been streaming for about 2 hours.
Oh shit, live stream's offline. What? Oh, the stream's resumed. We're good. We started streaming 108 minutes ago. Keep reading. Shit, that's right. There.
Just gonna assume that the stream has not turned itself off.
It's still going. Let's keep on going.
So, where was I? Where were we? If we're to speed up the process, I think we need something more to help me make me feel a little better. The comforting was nice, but I could use something more. Like what? A kiss?
Sonic asked jokingly. Rogue smiled, but she did not give an answer, or at least he did not get it vocally. A few seconds later, the Southern Belle climbed onto the top of the blur and sat on his lap, her clothed crotch just barely grazing against his. Without any hesitation, she followed it up by pressing her hands against the hog's firm chest, with all the while her gaze was locked with the blurs, who wasn't exactly scared as most men would be, but rather he was more curious about what was going on, which Ro could tell by now by how one of his eyebrows was cocked upwards, though she still could tell through his tone of voice that he was at least slightly concerned.
Okay, so Sonic is like, what, 3
So-
feet tall?
I think in this one he's supposed to be 5 feet. They retcon that too. And also, she's literally pressing up against him, rubbing up against him. He's like, "What are you doing?"
Rogue, what are you doing?
Sonic asked.
Why do you sound so afraid?